In the centre of Chicago, under a road, some of the city's homeless attempt to keep warm. Their possessions, including bundles of clothes and blankets, lie strewn across the sidewalks. This is where many of Chicago's homeless are preparing for a harsh winter. It's estimated that some 82,000 people are homeless here, many living on the street, including Joseph and his uncle.
At nighttime, even with the blankets and stuff like that down here, you still be freezing. This concrete gets so cold it cracked. Since I've been out here about 7 years, I've seen about 6 people down here pass away.
Hey, shalom, shalom, brother Quash, back on that scene, back on that wisdom scene. I was thinking, because during my work hours, I see a lot of homeless people. Where I particularly work at, you see a lot of homeless people, and it's becoming a real problem in particular areas. It's gotten to the point where you start to recognize the same homeless people over and over. They just like you have a light fixture or a hydrant or a mailbox. That certain homeless people become just like those fixtures in the streets, and you hear a lot of complaints about the homeless situation, not just here but on the West Coast, especially the West Coast, especially San Francisco. But it's not just San Francisco, and New York is becoming a problem. And the mayor of New York, he's trying to open certain homeless shelters, but then he saw the so-called white people, they're not going for it. They don't want those homeless shelters in their neighborhoods because it brings down property value. They're worried about their children. Then in certain cases, you got syringes and all kind of drug paraphernalia in those locations. So no one wants to support the homeless in their neighborhoods. And to some degree, I can't blame them. As a man of the Most High, I'll be bold and I'll say that. To some degree, I can't blame them. But the question is, should you support the homeless? Should you give them alms and donations and food? Because a lot of brothers and sisters, they get very confused on this issue. When I first came into knowledge, I was somewhat confused on this issue. And it was basically based on this scripture, Tobit, the 4th chapter, and I believe it's the 17th verse. Give nothing to the wicked. So automatically we assume, or we say, that because someone is homeless or strung out on drugs or really down and out, they're automatically not in the faith, and you should do nothing to help that brother or sister. We already have in our minds, that you should not help those brothers and sisters who are down and out. But it can be very confusing because you don't know whether to give or whether not to give. In my opinion, it depends on where the Spirit moves you. Over the years, the Spirit has shown me, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm open for correction on the issue, but the Spirit has shown me that it depends on where the Spirit moves you, because some people that are homeless are blatantly wicked, blatantly evil and wicked, and it's just a money scheme for them, or they hurt other brothers and sisters, or maybe in the past it did serious hurt to other brothers and sisters. But it depends on where the Spirit moves you. In my opinion, some people I will not give. Certain brothers and sisters, like I see this one brother, and not just a brother Esau too. A lot of people, their job is to beg. They're professional beggars. And I'm not talking about the professional beggars who put their kids through college through begging. I'm talking about the ones who don't give a damn. They have these signs where they say they're hungry. Please help me, I'm hungry. But they're out there all day begging. There was one brother, he had this filthy shirt with holes in it, and the dirt was so thick on him, it looked like burnt butter, man. That's how thick the dirt was on him, man. So I bought him some shorts, a couple of pairs of shorts, t-shirts, socks, and some other stuff, maybe some toothpaste and stuff like that. I can't really remember. It was a while ago. And I said, I don't want to see you with those rags on. I want you to put these on. He said, oh, okay. You know what he told me? He said, okay, but I'm not gonna wear this. I might want to go out one day. So you know what his hustle was. He's trying to look so bad that's his hustle. That's how he gets his money. He told me he didn't want to wear the clothes I bought him because he didn't want to get them dirty in case he has to go out somewhere one day. I gave him no money at all anymore. You know, every time I drive past him, I just give him a dirty stare because that's a wicked nigga, man. Excuse my language, but that's what he is. So, see, that's where you got to weigh out the spirit should you give. This is Tobit 4, verse, let's start to the 15th verse. It says, do that to no man which thou hatest. Again, it says, do that to no man which thou hatest. So what you hate done to you, you should be mindful that you don't do it to another brother or sister. And you got a lot of that going on. You got a lot of brothers and sisters. They do things to brothers and sisters that they hate. It might even be a snide remark. And I'm guilty of that. But, you know, everybody needs to get better in those areas. Do that to no man which thou hatest. Drink not wine to make thee drunken. Does that mean you can't drink wine? No. It means when you drink to the point where you act a fool, or you outside of the Most High, outside of the Spirit, or you're outside of decency, that now you put yourself in the spirit of the wicked. So it says, drink not wine to make thee drunken, neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey. Meaning you constantly drinking. You drink when you go to work. You drink when you come home. You drink when you get with your family. You drink when you play with your kids. You drink at the barbecues. You drink at high holy days. Drinking follows you everywhere to the point where you're out of spirit. I'm not saying you can't drink. I drink. You understand? I'll probably drink this weekend. But when you drink to the point where you're unpriestly, when you drink to the point where you do things to others that you don't want done to you, that you hate, when you drink to the point where you're out of control, when you drink to the point where you're destroying yourself or hurting others, you're no longer in the right spirit because of that alcohol. Then it says, give thy bread to the hungry. See that? Give thy bread to the hungry, and of thy garments to them that are naked. See? So if you have extra food that you could spare, if you have extra clothes you could spare, you should give it to the down and out. You understand? But you don't give to every brother or sister. And that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But it says, give thy bread to the hungry, and of thy garment give to them that are naked. And according to thy abundance give alms. So what you can afford, you give. See? According to thy abundance, give alms. Alms is like charity to the poor. Well, not necessarily the poor either. It could be to the church. But according to thy abundance, give alms. In this case, we're talking about the poor. It says, and let not thy eye be envious when thou givest alms. Meaning give with a willing heart. And let not thy eyes, or thy eye, meaning your spirit, be envious when thou givest alms. It says, pour out thy bread on the burial of the just, but give nothing to the wicked. And that's the particular verse that a lot of brothers and sisters use from time to time, not to give to those who are less fortunate. But it says, pour out thy bread on the burial of the just. So those who have passed away, you might want to help their families or support their burial necessities. That's the just. But then it says, but give nothing to the wicked. So, that's an issue. But in my opinion, you go by where the Spirit moves you. You go by where the Spirit moves you. That's my opinion. Because I won't give to everybody. Then sometimes you give and you walk 10 steps and there's someone with their hand out again. But then, again, a lot of brothers and sisters, they get confused on this issue. Trust your heart. Trust where the Spirit leads you. You understand? If you see someone there every day at the same 7-Eleven, holding the door open just so they can get change from you every day, you don't have to give to that brother or sister. Because now they are a professional, they have become a professional beggar. And the scriptures also tell you that the Lord hates a beggar. So there are people who are in bad situations that need help, that are truly hungry. Those type of brothers and sisters you can support. In other words, you see a brother begging for food, but there's a chicken shack right across the street. You offer, well, I'll buy you a meal, brother or sister. No, I don't want that meal. I just want the money. You gonna give a wicked brother that kind of? You gonna give him money? A sister that rejects the food and wants just the money, you gonna give that sister the money? You're not gonna give to that person. This is Proverbs, the 14th chapter, right? 14th chapter, and it says we're gonna go to 14th chapter in the 21st verse. Let's go there. It says he that despiseth his neighbor sinneth. So you're not supposed to hate your neighbor. A neighbor is an Israelite. It's not like the churches teach you that anybody can be your neighbor. Love thy neighbor. A neighbor is written in the law of Leviticus, the 19th chapter, in the 17th verse, and it shows you clearly that that's an Israelite. But it says, he that despiseth his neighbor sinneth. Remember we read earlier that you're not supposed to do evil to your brother or your sister or your neighbor that you hateth done to you. So here it's saying, he that despiseth his neighbor sinneth, but he that has mercy on the poor, happy is he. See that? See that? But he says, he that despiseth his neighbor sinneth, but he that has mercy on the poor, happy is he. Happy is that brother. The Spirit going to work with that particular brother. Happy is that brother. You understand? 31st verse. He that oppresses the poor reproacheth his maker. Again, he that oppresses the poor reproacheth his maker. In other words, the Most High, he gets mad at that thing. So if you give the poor problems, if you have a cold heart to the poor, if you're disrespectful or mock the poor, it's like you disrespected the Most High. But he that honoreth him has mercy on the poor. But he that honoreth him has mercy on the poor. If you honor the Most High, naturally you're going to be in the spirit to help the poor or have mercy on the poor. Sometimes you got to have mercy. Even when you got brothers and sisters that just don't understand, that's down and out, that they don't understand, sometimes you got to have mercy. You got to have mercy because they don't know any better. They don't know any better, and they're in a bad situation. It's like when you in hell, and the Most High is kicking your behind. It's like you in prison, man. And then certain brothers and sisters, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. 13 Proverbs 21 verse 13. It says, "Whosoever stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard." You see that? That's heavy. It says, "Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor." The Most High talk about stopping your ears at his laws. But here it's saying, we always talk about stopping your ears at you stopping your ears at hearing the word of the Most High, or his laws. Here it says, "Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard." That's a good scripture. But the Most High is showing you that you're gonna have people. The Most High, he gonna test you too. You're gonna have people that's gonna come to you and that's gonna really cry out because of their situations. And if you block your ears to someone who really needs help, I'm not talking about no wicked brother or sister, but someone who really, really, truly needs help, the Most High, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see that. And again, like this is like, it's cold outside these days. We back in winter season, and a lot of brothers and sisters, it's sad, man, because a lot of them, they're out in the cold, and you see them in cardboard boxes, and thick, old, dirty comforters covering them in cold weather that's in the digits, single digits. And they do it, and a lot of them don't go to the shelters because the shelters are dangerous, man. A lot of people, you're ignorant to the fact that to live in a shelter is dangerous. And these are brothers and sisters without the knowledge of the Most High, a lot of them. But then a lot of them, they're in prison, man. They're in prison spiritually. And it won't hurt to have a heart to a brother or sister. It's sad, man. And I feel bad for them a lot of times. And that's a position I fear, man. I fear, the judgment of the Most High, but I fear being put in a position like that, where you hit rock bottom and all your enemies prejudge you or judge you, period, and mock you and look down on you. That's a long, hard climb up. And a lot of us know brothers and sisters who are in the faith who are now in that position. And that's a sad, rough journey. So consider that last scripture we read. You don't want to be in a position where the Most High, He turns the tables and puts you in that position because you despise the poor or made mockery of the poor. You don't want to be in that situation, man. This is Proverbs the 19th chapter and the 17th verse. It says, "He that has pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord." Again, it says, "He that has pity." See that? He that has pity on the poor. It says, "He that has pity on the poor lendeth unto the Lord." It's like you lending to the Most High. It's like you loving the Most High. It's like you having mercy on the Most High. And that which he has given will He pay him again. Meaning the Most High, He'll hit you back. He'll bless you. He'll bless you with what you do for the poor. What you give, you'll get back. Sometimes 7 or 10-fold, 100-fold maybe. Again, charity covers a multitude of sin. We all sin, and we all can use a covering of those sins. But it says, "He that has pity on the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which He has given, He will pay him again." Pity on the poor. Sometimes, like I was telling a brother the other day, man, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, and trying to start all over again, man. Because I see in my travels the spirit of Yahweh Shah, who the world knows as Christ, is not being implemented enough, man. We focus on the laws like we live in the Old Testament, and we don't exalt the teachings of Yahweh Shah strongly, not among us, each other, the ones that's in the faith I'm talking about. And I think if we made that more of a base, the understanding and the wisdom of Yahweh Shah, if we made that more of a base, we would come up a lot faster and stronger. Proverbs the 17th chapter in the 5th verse, he says, "Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker," the maker being the Most High. Whoso mocketh, meaning make fun of the poor, reproacheth his maker. So you actually coming against the Most High. "And he that is glad at calamity shall be unpunished." Again, and he that is glad at calamity shall not be unpunished. So if you're comfortable in wickedness, you shall not be unpunished. And like I said in a video a while back, man, the Most High, He gonna start with us. He gonna start at the house first, because the house is filthy. You might deny it, you might live in denial, but the house is filthy. You focus more on fringes than the Sabbath day and the brotherhood and the love of the brotherhood, which shows me your fringes is nothing but a fashion statement for you, almost like the Pharisees. But I just I thought I'd put this out because it's been cold lately, and during work I see a lot of homeless people, man, and it's sad. But amongst the homeless, you see a lot of wicked homeless people too. And you see a lot of people with spirits on them among the homeless. And that's a terrible, terrible position to be in. And that's a terrible world to live in. You know, you got to pray and thank the Most High every day for what you got. The little bit I got compared to the people who don't have or have very little, you know, I thank the Most High every day, man, because, you know, I like coming home, man. I love coming home. I love coming home because the Most High has blessed me with, you know, a roof over my head, food, uh, cable TV, flat screen, laptops to teach or learn. You know, we're very spoiled in this country. We take for granted a lot of things the Most High has blessed us with. We're very spoiled, and it's going to be a time when the Most High going to test me and test you, whether you're a brother or sister. And if you're not equipped with the right tools of spirituality, you're going to feel that fire. And it's coming. There's a spirit, man, that's out here, man. I don't know if you brothers and sisters feel it, but I feel it. Something bad is coming. But even though it's going to sweep through us as a nation, we all going to be tested individually. And I don't know if you feel that, but I feel that coming, man. And I pray that the Most High doesn't put more than I could bear when my time comes. And it's going to come on a lot of you brothers and sisters. It's probably coming on you now. Read your scriptures, man, and do the right thing, because it's coming. This brother Bakwa signing out. Shalom.